Greetings, welcome to the other 167. I'm Pearl John of Logos Management, and let me take this opportunity to wish you a wonderful 2023. As we are in the first week of the first month of the first quarter this new year, it is my privilege to share my first message of the year. Last week we started on the 3 C's to close the year gone by and commence the year 2023. And we said you need to consider your big wins, your big woes, and your big opportunities. And we spoke of considering these from 3 lenses: the personal lens, the professional lens, and the spiritual lens. We started off on the second C and we said you need to calibrate your pluses and minuses. This week we continue on the areas of calibration and close off on the third C. So firstly, calibrate your pluses and minuses, and as in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weaknesses, says the Lord. As you embark on the new year, that calibration of your pluses and your minuses is a patent tool to orchestrate your life and chart your way forward. When you recognize the areas that you are weak on, they become the areas where His strength comes through significantly. For they then go beyond the human strength, human competence, or human capabilities, and transitions into a divine realm where divine strength is manifested. As a young boy, I had a serious issue with speaking. I used to intersperse my speech with a number of and and ahs and so on. And my dad worked alongside me to get me rid of these phrase fillers. But you know what? When we took this issue to the Lord in prayer, this weakness was covered by His grace, and His power was made manifest. So I'm completely conscious that this communication capability is from God, and I have nothing to stake claim of. Today, when people compliment me on my gift of articulation, I point them to Jesus, for He is the one who worked a miracle in my life and corrected the speech impediment to channel His power through my life. So the Lord who did that to me can do the same in your life, whatever be your weakness. Calibrate those and tap into His all-sufficiency to overcome your weakness. Secondly, calibrate your learnings and longings. Learnings are what aids your growth journey. As someone said, when you have stopped learning, you have stopped growing. Thus, important to calibrate how far did you learn through this year that has gone by vis-a-vis your learning plan. How does your learning measure up vis-a-vis the advancements happening in the industry? It is imperative that you calibrate what you envisaged to learn and what you ended up learning. This will ensure you will prioritize those areas for learning and invest your time effectively. And what you purpose to achieve, calibration of what you purpose to achieve and what you ended up achieving is again a very useful index of where the gaps lie and where in turn you need to focus going forward. How does it measure up against your goals? Calibration of your goals vis-a-vis achievement is an important metric to reflect on. Often you set lofty goals, but other compulsions and considerations come in the way and you are derailed. This gives you a sense of the detractors that diminish your progress. And how satisfied are you? Your sense of satisfaction of the year gone by is a useful measure of the level of well-being and is directly linked to the feeling of being valued. So that's the second area to calibrate. Moving on to the third area to calibrate, your aspirations and achievements. How far did you achieve against your aspired dreams? It is good to dream and dream big. It is another to achieve those dreams, and calibration of those aspirations and achievements gives you a window of opportunity to redouble your efforts. An understanding of what inhibited you from achieving those dreams should aid you to address those detractors. And a deep dive into what could have been done differently is an important element of insight to explore alternate ways to address issues. This calibration is a precursor to the final C, which stands for course correction. Perhaps this year is a good time to initiate course corrections in all those areas that have emerged as key areas for you to course correct. Course correction is an integral part of goals accomplishment. Having regular period of self-assessment, reflection, diagnosis to guide the direction of your trajectory is a critical component for meeting and surpassing your objectives. So how do you go about course correcting? I have 3 suggestions for you to tap into. 1, decide on the key alternate actions that you need to embark on. This gives you a very clear and a patent fix of alternatives, options that you need to necessarily engage in. 2, think through potential detractors that could come in the way. Often when you think about possible detractors, it enables you to be well prepared to handle those detractors as and when they arrive. And you are in a position to be able to get the better of them. And thirdly, detail out clear strategies to overcome those detractors and progress forward. Working through the strategies prior is a very, very powerful way rather than working through the strategies as they arise. So it's very, very important for you to be able to do that prior, which enables you to be well prepared to handle those challenges as they arise. Often you find people taking time to consider the year gone by, and they possibly transition to calibration as well, which is good. But the key is to transition further into course correction. The absence of course correction leads to no tangible improvements on the areas that were identified. So once you start course correction, track that you are moving forward as envisaged, and soon you will find yourself making significant strides forward. So this year, let this year be a year of course corrections and working towards your objectives with a laser-sharp focus and achieving those objectives day after day, week after week, month after month, quarter after quarter. And at the end of the year, you will have a beautiful opportunity to reflect on and find yourself working towards your objectives and meeting or surpassing your objectives. So once again, let me take this opportunity to wish you a new year filled with love, peace and hope. Have a great weekend and a greater year ahead. This is Pearl John signing off, the other 167. We meet next week and we continue the series Dare to be a Daniel in the Corporate Den, Part 7.